Hi everyone, this is Rudraksh. In today's video, we will be diving into why it's important to know that it is so okay to just feel. Over the past few years, there have been a certain terms that have been popularized on the internet, and now they're being used, or rather misused, in a way to convey this whole idea of shut down your feelings. You don't need to feel, be nonchalant, detached, do this, do that. And all of that has been put under the umbrella of Stoicism. And you don't even need to do a PhD in philosophy to realize, to understand that that is not what Stoicism means. Stoicism has never been about not feeling. And this is not going to be an educational video on what Stoicism is about. Please go read on it. It's pretty fascinating. In this video, I'm just going to bring up a few quotes that define Stoicism, that conveys that Stoicism is anything but forcing yourself to not feel. The first quote that stood out to me is, "We are often more frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." And that is from Seneca. Which part of that is telling you not to feel? Second quote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." That is by Marcus Aurelius. Again, chat, please tell me, where is it written that you're not supposed to feel? A prime example of why it is so important to veer away from this obsession on not feeling or being nonchalant. Let's look at the whole conversation around the male loneliness epidemic. Where do you think that comes from? That comes from years and years of men being told and taught and indoctrinated to not feel. And who governs that structure? The damn patriarchy. As a result of that, what do we have? We have a whole generation so fixated on not wanting to feel, being so preoccupied with who can feel less, on who can care less, on who can act the most unbothered and nonchalant, that we have started to legitimize emotionally fraudulent, emotionally fraught, emotionally low-key abusive relationships, and we've legitimized terms like situationship, sneaky links. I don't even want to venture into what the hell is going on with the gay community, but y'all, do we not see the problem here? In what world is it cool to not emote, express, and feel? And if there is a world that is as cold as that, take me out. I don't want to be part of that world. I would like to think that the reason why we're so adamant on running away from feeling and emoting is because we're afraid of confronting the pain, the hurt, the sorrow, the sadness that often comes with feeling those emotions. On the contrary, do you ever run away from happiness? Do you ever run away from horniness? Do you ever run away from gloating over a massive milestone? Do you ever run away from your mother's or your friends or a random person's love? No, because those are emotions that we have deemed as favorable, right? Yet when it comes to this binary of emotions, where on the other side, there are these unfavorable emotions such as grief, sadness, sorrow, pain, we are so afraid of just processing them that we're like, okay, whatever, I don't feel, whatever. Like, come on. When I'm telling you that you should feel your emotions, that you should process them, in no way I am asking you to be engulfed by your emotions, to be governed by them, to be paralyzed by them. I'm not asking you to let other people's actions dictate your emotions. I'm not asking you to act out of those unfavorable emotions. To feel your emotions means to, first of all, acknowledge that there is an unfavorable emotion brewing within you. Whether that is a heartache, someone did something to hurt you, someone did something and now you're feeling hurt from it. You're dealing with the loss of someone, whether it is death or a breakup of a relationship. You are supposed to feel. I feel like we're missing the point of the human experience. For me, that is the whole point of the human experience, is to have these emotions arise and then develop ways to process them, feel them, navigate them. from my own experience, I have noticed that shame plays a big role in allowing us to feel our emotions. And often it can be linked to ego. So let's say you're really into someone and they don't reciprocate your interest in them. There's this ego of, oh my fucking God, I'm not going to feel sad over being rejected. It is okay to process your emotions when you're facing rejection. It is okay to sit down and cry over being broken up with. It is okay to truly sit down and process grief over losing someone. On that topic, listen, I'm the biggest Wanda apologist and defender, but we all saw what happened to Homegirl when she decided to do anything but process her grief, right? Sis enslaved the whole fucking town. Again, my girl was justified. But I digress. Here is how to feel. Number one, you acknowledge it. Number two, after you're done acknowledging the presence of the emotion, you are going to simply allow it to be. This is how I do it. I will just sit down and I will focus on where is it that I'm feeling that emotion. I don't know who explained it that way, but emotion is energy in motion. So it's being moved around, and often our hesitancy to acknowledge it allows it to be stuck, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to try and figure out where you can feel it in our body. If it's a heartache, most likely you're going to feel it in your chest. Second, you're going to give it a color. That's how I do it. I usually give it a color and then I will just allow it to run its course. So sometimes that means you'll cry it out. That's a way of externalizing your emotions and letting them out of your body. You know how they say to get through it, you have to go through it. And that's how you go through it, by allowing it to find space outside of you. Some people will cry, some people will paint, some people will write. All of those are ways of externalizing your emotion and allowing it to find a place to live outside of you. And if you're consistently running away from it, it's going to find a permanent dwelling within you. So acknowledge it, allow it to be, give it a color, let it run its course. Now, the tricky part is it's not a one time thing. I'm going to use the example of a heartache. Once someone's broken up with you, you're not going to get over it by crying one time over it. You're going to cry. You're going to have 10 really good days. The 11th day, some thought is going to provoke some kind of emotion, and you have to sit down again and process it all over again. Yes, it is hard work. And that is why people find it quote unquote easier to run away from it. But running away from it, do you know what you're going to end up being? And I would like to believe that if you're watching this video, you have some kind of inclination to sit down and process and feel your emotions. Judging yourself and shaming yourself for feeling those emotions are the worst thing you can do, because they will come in the way of you uninhibitedly allowing those emotions to be. And I'm going to go back to my point of the binary that we have created. Often that binary leads us to be judgmental of our emotions. So when we're happy, then we're simply happy. But when we're sad, why the fuck am I sad? Now, there are some times when you need to use rationale to combat certain thoughts, not emotions. Usually our emotions are provoked through thoughts that we're having or through an experience. By now, we all know that not all thoughts that we think are true. I use two methods to dissolve my thoughts. One is reframing. So I will use gratitude to combat that one thought that's going to provoke those unfavorable emotions. If my brain is trying to make me really sad about, let's say, a friendship breakup or a breakup in general, I would think about how much of a blessing it is that that person is no longer in my life. So that is one way of reframing, but also using gratitude to dissolve that thought. Number two, if you're obsessively thinking about one thing and that thing is making you sad, I will redirect my mind to thinking about all the good things that are happening in my life, because our brains have a negativity bias. So if 10 good things are happening and one bad thing is happening, your brain is going to convince you that that one bad thing outweighs all the 10 great things that are happening. Then you will intervene and think about, if you're going down a spiral over that one thought, intervene and think about the 10 other good things that are happening in life. Lastly, I really want to emphasize that it is so okay? It is the most human thing to feel your emotions. Let go of the shame, let go of the judgment, and trust me, the biggest favor you can do to yourself is purge yourself of those emotions through feeling them.